So I'd like to talk about the Battlefield, the new Battlefield coming out, the old ones versus the new ones, and all that kind of stuff, and what I think about it, and kind of where Battlefield went wrong in the recent years. So first, I got to tell you about I've been a Battlefield fan since about Bad Company 2 is when I started playing, and I originally started playing with my army friends. They introduced it to me, and I immediately fell in love with it. The chaos, the tagging someone with a tracer dart, and then my buddy shooting, locking on and shooting a human being with an RPG or whatever it is. It was just really fun and sandboxy, and all the customization, the vehicle play was awesome. So I really enjoyed that, and I got to say that by far my favorite Battlefield is probably Battlefield 4, but 3 and 4 are pretty close together. And then probably third place is Battlefield 1 with the World War One because that was just cool, very cinematic looking. But beyond that, after Battlefield 1, Battlefield started to take a really weird turn. And I think you guys all know what I'm talking about. Battlefield 5 came out, World War II, which first, I'm going to say was a bad idea, in my opinion, to release a World War II era game after you just launched, came out with World War One, and then you're going to launch a World War II. People were already wanting modern stuff to come back, so that was their first mistake with Battlefield 5, is to go from World War One to World War II, a World War II installment. It's two back to back on that. People wanted helicopters and stuff like that, not slow tanks and Shermans and stuff. So that was the first thing. The other thing is the the female. That was when they really started pushing the female stuff, the female soldiers, which, like, I'm not whatever, but it's still, when you have a cyborg woman with a katana on her back, you know running around the main battlefield on in a World War II setting, the immersion was gone. Like, in World War II, you don't expect to hear women screaming in battle and stuff like that. I know that people will take the smallest little examples of sometimes in certain countries, like a woman was in a battle or a couple of women or the Russia, but that was like the vast exception to the rule. Like, that was such just not a thing. That was not a thing. 99.99% of the people fighting in World War II were men, and men that, did not make it home, that men that got maimed and injured and all the other stuff. It was all men. So it was just really stupid and kind of disrespectful, in my opinion. And it's one of the big things that turned me off with a Battlefield 5 launch. And this is also another thing, is when I feel like EA or DICE and Battlefield really started having a hard time launching like an incomplete game at launch. Like, I know that all Battlefields kind of had a rocky launch or whatever, but it really, the bugs and all the other things, that the unbalanced stuff, like, it was just, ugh, I don't know. It was really bad this time, and like I said, the era setting, people were already kind of fatigued on it with World War One, and so that's kind of my take on some of the big problems they did, and also their response. The response to the fans, when fans started bringing up these things like, hey, the woman in the thing is not immersive, it's not historically accurate, blah, blah, blah. And then they basically tell us not to buy the game. And that's just disrespectful. You don't say that to customers that want your stuff. If your customers are unhappy with a product you're doing, and I'm a business owner, I have products out there, and they're actually on the screen right now. Those are my products. But if people, anytime somebody complains or doesn't like the product, because look, the products are great, but there's always going to be people that don't like it. My answer is not, well, just don't buy it. Just don't buy the product. That's never my answer. My answer is like, okay, well, what was the problem? How can I fix this for you? I refund them. If somebody doesn't like it, I refund them their money. I offer them to give them a free sample or a free unit of it after refunding their money. And I apologize for their bad experience, whether it's valid or not, because it's called good customer service. It's called, because I don't want people to hate review me, and customers have that potential. They have that power, and I think studios and other things like that are starting to realize that you don't have the power. The customer does, and they need to remember that. So that's kind of my thing on the whole Battlefield 5 thing. And then we get into the latest installment, which you're seeing playing right now, Battlefield 2042. I was so excited for this game. I was so excited. And I still play this game quite a bit. But it's not horrible in its current rendition right now. You know, they've done a lot of fixes and all that kind of stuff. But when they first came out with this game, it was broken. It was so buggy. It was terrible. You know, it just did not work very good. I mean, things were glitchy. I remember them doing like the beta test, or the alpha test, or whatever, and then they launched the actual game, and it was like, hey, a lot of the bugs that were in the alpha and beta tests are still here. Like, what did you guys do from then until launch? I don't know. But anyway, so it was just really buggy and stuff. And another issue is, and I'm pretty sure that this is true, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. EA and DICE hired a bunch of ex Call of Duty developers. And this is so apparent. These were Call of Duty people trying to shove their specialist operator crap into a Battlefield game. It was dumb. It didn't work. It pissed people off. And it really hurt the play style and the class specific style of play that Battlefield is known for. And it really hurt. It hurt the franchise. It was stupid. I mean, the fact that I still hate the operators, and I know that they've tried to fix some stuff, but I mean, we don't need special operator abilities. Like, everybody should have either be an engineer, assault, support, or recon, and they should all have the corresponding kits and gadgets and weapons that go along with those. And that way you know exactly what you're getting. You don't have a sniper or somebody with a recon, sniper rifle, but they're a support class, so they're just infinitely restocking their own ammo. It's insane. And everybody, like literally everyone, almost just having anti-tank stuff. And I mean, oh my gosh, don't even get me started in the vehicle. Like, I'm one of those Battlefield people, and I know there's some infantry only people that love Battlefield, and I do love my infantry play, but I love the vehicles. I love getting into a vehicle and just wrecking. My buddy and I, we love getting into the attack bird and just laying down fire and just wrecking shop. I mean, and listen. Here's the thing. I know some of these infantry, some of you infantry people are not going to like this, but the point, the vehicles are supposed to be powerful. The vehicles are supposed to be able to wipe a bunch of people. It's supposed to change the dynamics of the battlefield. It does in real life, and I know this is a video game, but it should in the video game too. I should not have to shoot someone with a crew serve, or somebody who's not military. It's just like your secondary weapons, like on the machine gun when you're in someone's tank, a crew serve. I should not have to shoot somebody 7 times, 8 times before they are done. I shouldn't. I should, like, 2, 3 shots, maybe. In real life it's one, but 2, 3, okay, got it. You can't have. We're not everybody wants to play hardcore mode, but I mean, good. It makes it so unenjoyable, and it makes the vehicles are so much harder to stay alive in, and it's ridiculous. Like, in the older battlefields, if you had a good crew in a vehicle, people would literally make a point to go back as an engineer and either get in a Stinger, or everybody would load up on javelins or whatever it was, to make sure that they got those guys that are good at it out of there. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay. But it's also got a high skill level. Not everybody, even if the vehicles are good, even if the vehicles are good and kind of OP, it still takes a skilled person and skilled people to operate them to the level to where they're dominating. Okay. Not everybody can do that. And that's how it's supposed to be. So you have skilled pilots and skilled tank operators and all of that. And if you get those guys on your team, you're probably going to win. Okay. Unless the other team's just as good, or they know how to handle these types of threats. But that's the point. And this game completely lost it. Lost it. Like, and the vehicle play is still fun, don't get me wrong, but it's not near as good as it was. And so that's another huge element that I think that I'm hoping can be remedied, which brings me to the next installment, Battlefield 6. I guess that's what we're calling it right now. And I have a lot again, high hopes, and the fact that they said we're trying to go back to Battlefield 3, 4 type of thing, that gives me a lot of hope, and I hope they do, and I hope they make the vehicles powerful, and I hope that they bring more of that balance back to Battlefield, and I hope they get rid of this stupid Call of Duty feeling operator dumpster fire stuff. Like, if you want to play Call of Duty, go play Call of Duty, but do not Call of Duty my Battlefield. Please do not do that. Okay. So that's the big thing. Another thing is, I really do hope they class lock a lot of stuff with this new one. I mean, make an engineer special, make a support character special. Don't I don't want to see a million, like 98% of the map playing as one class because that's the meta. Like I want more, you know, classes in this. I want the classes to be more locked and barriered by what they can do and the tasks that they can perform. And it also plays into what Battlefield's always stood for, squad play. The more specialized these classes are, the more better squad play you're going to get. The more you need a medic in your squad, the more you need a support or a recon in your squad. Like that, and it's got to be more than just the gadgets. I am okay with having certain types of weapons like the DMRs be universal or other things like shotguns being universal, whatever. But I do want class locked weaponry for LMGs, for sniper rifles, and some other stuff, and assault rifles. It just works out better like that. So that's my whole thing. I mean, Battlefield's got a lot of potential, and if they can get this next one right, which they really, really need to get this next one right, if they can get it right, I think you're going to see a resurgence to Battlefield, and they're going to have a reestablished with the old fans like me and the other people, and some of my buddies have been playing from the very beginning, back in Battlefield 1942 and all the other stuff. And then you're going to also get an influx of new people that get to experience why Battlefield was a great franchise to begin with. But they've got to go back to doing the right thing, making this for the fans, the core fans, and not trying to just be like, oh, we just want the Call of Duty players. Like we want to be a Call of Duty. No, you're not a Call of Duty. Get over it. Just make Battlefield great again, right? Like I'm gonna like we should just put that on a hat. Make Battlefield great again. It was that MBGA, okay? MBGA, make Battlefield great again. All right. So that's my take on it. Like and follow my channel. I'm going to be creating more content. It's not just Battlefield, it's all kinds of stuff. Dad life, entrepreneur life, all that good stuff. Again, those are my products. You can go to TikTok shop, Amazon, Walmart, all that kind of stuff to see that's where we sell these products. We've got some really good advertising. I'm sorry, not advertising, but sales going on TikTok right now on TikTok Shop. So check us out, like and follow. I'll be posting more stuff. Help a veteran out if you're a veteran. So yeah, thanks guys. Talk to y'all later.